morning. Good morning. Morning. Wow. I don't want to even get into what my heart is feeling concerning George, Mr. Floyd, and all that has happened around us. It just hurts my heart so bad. And I know it does yours too. So I won't get into that yet. I'll talk about Mr. Floyd at another time. But today I think the message that I need to talk about this morning is just for us to take just a minute to kind of think, you know, just pause and, have your mind to just think where it's at. When we first wake up, we do have a lot on our minds. We do have a lot that we have to consider for the day. But, as I was meditating and thinking about Mr. Floyd and looking at all the protests and all of that, I also thought about on the course of the day, even as I get ready to run an errand in just a few minutes, I think on the course of the day, we run into so many conversations with people, and even when we're driving, we think about the thing that's kind of frustrating us and getting on our nerves. And I started to think, God, give me the peace, give me the type of answer, more importantly, the thought that fruit that many of us ignore, and that is peace. In this world, we're not going to find peace, not the way we would have peace that we would receive when we leave here. So I so look forward to that. But let me tell you something. As I began to look at this thought, pause for thought, I began to think on the scriptures you could see there. Let me pull it up really quick out of Eccles 9, 17, and 18. And this is what it says. You can pull it out and read it yourself. Please do, because I meditated on it. It is better to hear the soft-spoken words of a wise person than the rant of a tyrant in the company of fools. Now that's 17. But here is the one that really made me, think about it, because we're going to have ranting everywhere. We're going to have people saying everything. We're going to even be foolish ourselves and say some things and think some things, right? On the course of the day. I mean, right when we think that we have did our Bible devotions and we get in our car, we drive. That's what I'm talking to you. And then we have these situations that make us just want to go off, like the line too long in the store and people cutting you off, on the freeway or down the road, or somebody just looking at you hard and mugging you while you're at the stoplight. I know I'm talking to you. Or somebody trying to flirt with you, they drunk, or, whatever, or throwing you the finger. But, and I just look at it and go, God, if I didn't have you, if the old Sandy, who didn't think, but now that I have the mind of Christ, I know I'm talking to you, I keep and I refuse to let the old man come alive. We got to keep a watch on our fruit, right? And so, verse 18 says, wisdom is better than weapons of war. Yes, it is. Yet one wrongdoer can undo much good. My God, help us. And this is where we're at even now in this war. For standing up for something that is right rather than fall for anything. But one thing I do know is that God is sovereign. He's alive and he's well. Let me get this back over because I can't see nothing but me talking over here. So anyway, like I was saying, pause for thought. So I want to get off here. I want to share this message that I thought was really important in my journal because I want to close out with a thought that I thought was really, really good that you can think about before the close of this message. Just for today, okay? Just for today, because I know we don't know, well, just for this moment, because we don't know what may happen after I get off here. Heaven forbid, but I want to make sure that I deposit this to somebody who may hear it. Please share it if you're led to. But I'm going to speak it anyhow. And so this is what this word says: blaming others for what has happened, is happening, or might happen in our lives will never allow us to contribute the good that is ours to give. The inclination to blame others for every situation that makes us unhappy is so wrong. And it becomes so strong, because we don't think about the fruit of the spirit of peace, love, joy, all of those things, gentleness. We don't do it. We just go at it. Like I always say, don't make me put my skin on it. That means don't make that thing that try to rise in me come alive again. I know I'm talking to you. We were probably trained by our parents to do this. I thought about that when I was reading this message today. I call these my SELAH messages for me to think on that. So yeah, we were raised by our parents to get up, ratting and raising and saying things, and some, was having bad days, and maybe they was going through stuff coming up. We was coming up, so we emulate that thing, or it was sown into us. And so even our parents did this. It's the human condition to shrink, that is to shirk or to take in the responsibility for what we were experiencing, whether it was good or bad. Of course, we can see some of that stuff manifesting right now. But the willingness to be accountable for everything that is happening empowers us to change the parts of our lives we're happy about, or we can deal with those things our way, what we're sad about, and it ain't going to be good for us. So we can't do this the way we want to, but we can do it through the fruit of the Spirit. We can't do it no other way. So I want you to repeat this after me before I end this message this morning. I will have many opportunities. Come on and say it. I will have many opportunities to be accountable. Just for this minute right here, because you may be saying something about me, or thinking something about me even now. Just for this moment that you're watching me, that you're breathing, just for this moment, I will be accountable for what I'm thinking, for what I'm saying. I will be accountable for that. And I will look at each thought and each deed squarely in the face. That means I'm going to look in the mirror and see who's really talking. Is it wisdom or is it anger? Which one? Is it frustration? Call it what it is. And then when I think about the grace and the mercy of God, will I really, really just still be angry, or will I say, thank you? Thank you for letting me really see me. And then I will notice how each one may feel about me. I know I'm talking to you. And so just for today, I want you to think on this before I give you this quote. One of us, so often we feel like that there's something that we need to say or something that we need to do, when we need to think about those things that is too hard for us to just, how do you say, get it out in peace. And so I want to say this to your pause about, don't rush to respond, okay? Everybody want to hurry up and read somebody right. Don't rush to respond. Why don't you pause for thought and just think, God, I heard what they said. I see what they're doing. Pause for thought. And when you hesitate to respond, especially if you're angry or frustrated, whether you reply to an email, a text, a tweet, or whatever it is, whether you reply to this thing, whether they're accusing you of something or trying to read you your rights, I want you to take the pause for the thought and reflect on that thing. But before you go to bed, before you go to sleep, I want you to think about that through the fruit of the Spirit. Just sift it through that. Did I handle that through love? Sift it through frustration. Did I handle that through peace and long suffering? Just sift it, what you're thinking through that. Okay. And then I want you to think, how did I react to that? You know, what kind of grade can you give yourself? And then think, will I be able to get up in the morning and say, okay, I handled it with the right thought. I handled it in the fruit of love and peace, and those things, long suffering. Did you really, really let it go? Or did you try to speak in your own fleshly way to deal with the matter? And so you think about, if you process that thought, do you believe that you could end that trouble, or did you think that you can open up another avenue of processing it through the fruit? Which one would you meditate on? So never miss an opportunity to simply be quiet. Simply don't talk. A lot of times my kids will say things to me and they ask me questions and they look like, I know she heard me. But a wise person don't open their mouths quickly. A wise person pause and think, do I want to cuss them? Is that wise? Do I want to pause and sift this thought that I have that's really of the flesh through the word of God, through the peace, which is one, the fruit of the Spirit, or do I just want to do it my way? Pause and think. What am I thinking? What are my thoughts? So I'm going to read this quote really quick and get out. Said that already, right? But here's this quote. I got it on here. And I like this. It's by Byron Pulsifer. I thought it was so powerful on my Google Good Morning Sandy. I said, this is perfect to share for this pause, because we want to always talk and say our 2 cents. And before you know it, you got a whole dollar worth of hell going on around you. I know I'm talking to you. And so I want you to think about this right here, to pause for thought before you talk. Take just a minute and think, do I need to answer this right now? Or am I going to answer or not answer for peace sake? But what are you thinking, even in the middle of the conversation? They might be right, or they might be wrong, or I just want to make sure that I read them their rights. What are you thinking? I want you to pause and think. Am I really giving this softly spoken word? Am I ranting and raging in the middle of a conversation that is only ending up to be nothing but self-destruction and pain throughout the whole situation between one another? Am I really being quiet and pausing the moment for God to talk to me about how to respond softly, or don't respond at all until He tell you to talk? We're the people, especially women, we're ready to talk and read rights and say what's hurting us and so on before we know it, and we got everything a mess, and we're wondering why, crying and driving to work crying, and Lord, I don't know, and I can't take it anymore. But yet we won't be quiet. Yeah, that husband may get on your nerve, yeah, them children may get on your nerve, but you won't be quiet. Be quiet. Quit talking. You don't have to respond to everything. And my kids don't. They look at me like, I know she heard me. And by now, they already know. Mama's really thinking about it. Uh-oh, I done messed up because she ain't talking. No, I'm not talking because I'm trying to talk to God about how do I handle this child who I really want to choke. I really want to take something and knock him unconscious. Really? Really? You disrespected me after 9 months I carried you? Prayed for you, and all these things, and now you want to talk to me crazy? I know I'm talking to you. See, truth hurt, but hell even stirs up more strife. It stirs up more bitterness. And I'm getting out here because the fact of the matter, in this quote that I'm closing out with, it says this: truth isn't all about what actually happens. I want you to listen to this. Truth isn't all about what actually happens, but more about how what has happened is interpreted. Guess what? When you allow it to be interpreted, it's anger, allow it to come out with no fruit of spirit that is in motion or coming out of you to demonstrate silence and the peace of God. You set that up. All you had to do was just pause. God bless you. I love you so much. I pray that your week be good and that most importantly that you share this message. Talk to you later.